In order for us to manifest our desires easily and effectively, we must understand how to plant a message into the collective unconscious mind. Let's find out more. Hi and welcome, this is Harold. And in this video we'll be talking about the conscious mind, the unconscious mind, and the collective unconscious mind. And this is an important model for us to understand if we are to manifest effectively. So essentially, there are multiple parts of the mind, and different traditions describe this differently. But for the sake of this video, we shall be focusing on 3 different aspects of mind. The first aspect is the conscious mind. Now, what is the conscious mind? So the conscious mind is that part of your mind that represents you. Okay, it's the part that you're consciously aware of at all time. So for example, if you were thirsty and if you wanted to get a glass of water, and you get a glass of water and drink it, that is your conscious action. That's a conscious decision you made. That was made by the conscious part of you. That is your conscious mind. That is your waking mind. Alright? So your conscious mind represents you. It's that waking part of you, the part of you that's woken up. So then there's your unconscious mind. Now your unconscious mind is that infinite, intelligent, incredible part of the mind that is responsible for your heartbeat. For you to be alive right now, your heart needs to be beating. But you don't beat your heart all the time to keep yourself alive, do you? Some other part of you is doing that for you. That part of you is your unconscious mind. It's not exactly you, but it is you. It's just an unconscious part of you. It's a mind that's more asleep than awake. It's the hidden observer. It's the observer of what's going on around you. So apart from your heartbeat, there's a plethora of other processes that are being controlled by your unconscious mind. For example, in your blood, there's O2 levels, there's CO2 levels, there's oxygen levels, there's pH levels. There's all sorts of other processes that need to be maintained in your blood. And all this is done for you by this phenomenal part of the mind. All your memories are stored in your unconscious mind. Your behaviors, your habits, your emotions, your thoughts, all these are controlled by your unconscious mind. So if you gain control of the unconscious mind, or gain access to the unconscious mind, we can gain more control over these things. Now, one thing you must understand is the unconscious mind has no rationality. So in other words, the unconscious mind is the observer, and this observer cannot tell the difference between that which is imagined and that which is really happening. Okay, so now this is where it's interesting. So for example, if you were working out and you were lifting weights, whether you were really doing that, so if you were really doing that, you would your muscles would get stronger. But the interesting thing is, this has also been researched many times now. There's been a lot of research behind this. If you close your eyes every day for a certain period of time and just imagine lifting weights, apparently it affects the muscles as well. It's because the unconscious mind, even if you're imagining it, can't tell the difference whether you're actually in the gym lifting weights or whether you're just lifting weights in your mind. And what's interesting is that's causing a physiological change in the body by just imagining it. So the unconscious mind has no rationality. It doesn't know what's really happening, and it doesn't know whether that's real or whether it's just imagined. So by imagining something, you can almost trick the unconscious mind into thinking that you're actually doing it. It's interesting. That's why visualization is a very powerful process. Extremely powerful process. So that is the unconscious mind. So then there's another part of the mind, right? This is known as the collective unconscious mind. This term was coined by Carl Jung, a student of Freud. So the collective unconscious mind is essentially, there are many other names for this, but essentially you are a conscious mind, you have an unconscious mind, and so does your friend, so do all your friends, so do I, so do the animals and the plants and the insects and the birds. So all these minds link together to form one giant mind, one large collective mind. Is the collective unconscious mind. It is the large mind that connects all minds together, right? Another word for this might be source, a creator, creator's mind. Many names for this. So essentially, this is the source of all energy. And this is where all the possibilities exist for manifestation. So we want to be able to send a message from our conscious minds to our unconscious minds, and from the unconscious mind into the collective unconscious mind. Now, in order to do that, the reason why we do that is because the conscious mind is you. It's that part of you which has the desire and the intention to do something, and we want to be able to focus that intention and send it through the observer, because to get to the collective unconscious mind, you have to go through you. You have to go through you. You go through your unconscious mind into the collective unconscious mind. So the observer is watching, and we want to send a message through the observer, right, which is the unconscious mind, the observer, into the collective unconscious mind. But now we need to be able to speak the observer's language. It's very, very important. So it's not the same like if two conscious minds are speaking. If I was speaking to you, we can speak in whatever language, and we can understand each other. But if we are sending a message to the unconscious mind, there's a particular way of speaking, or there's a specific language that we must use. So if we use direct communication to the unconscious mind, it's not as easy. So we can use affirmation such as I am confident, I am successful, I am whole and complete. Day by day, in every way, I'm becoming more and more successful. There are many ways we can do this as well, but we need to repeat it to ourselves multiple times in a certain manner for us to be able to eventually allow the unconscious mind to maybe accept one of these suggestions and make it a reality for us. But there's another way. If we understand the language of the unconscious mind, we can learn to speak to it. And automatically when we speak to the unconscious mind will pass it into the collective unconscious mind, and therefore the collective unconscious mind will send a message back, causing manifestation through the unconscious mind. So the unconscious mind has the ability as well to manifest our reality, to bring situations into our reality. And the energy to do that comes from the collective unconscious mind. So essentially, we're passing the manifestation, the message of the thing we want to manifest, or the trait we want to manifest, or the situation, or whatever it is. We're sending it to the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind sends it to the collective unconscious mind, and the collective unconscious mind sends a message back to the unconscious mind saying, manifest this, right? If this process happens smoothly, and we'll get to that. And now the collective unconscious mind makes that experience so, and the conscious mind experiences it. So what is the language of the unconscious mind? First thing, symbols, metaphors, and images. Symbols, metaphors, and images. Hence why we use visualization when we do our manifestations, because we're trying to ignite the unconscious mind. We're trying to get our message across to the unconscious mind, and if we speak to it, it won't exactly understand what we're saying unless we repeat it over and over and over and over again. But when we visualize we're creating images. So now the unconscious mind can understand what you're trying to tell it. And now metaphors is another way. Now we shall speak a lot more about metaphors later on, and an extremely powerful way, arguably the most powerful way, is using symbols. So if an image is worth 1,000 words and a video is worth 1,000 images, a symbol is worth 1,000 videos. So symbolism is extremely powerful, and ancient traditions such as the Egyptian tradition understood this, and hence why their language, hieroglyphics, were all technically symbols. They were all little pictures, because they understood how the mind works. So symbolism is a very powerful thing, but we will get into that a lot later, and this is going to be a very deep and profound topic. So hit that subscribe button, like this video, and hit the bell icon so you're notified of more and more of my videos. So for this conversation, for this video, let's focus on images for now until we come to these broader topics. So we have an image of what we want to manifest, right? The thought, which is the form, and then we add in the emotion. We've already spoken about this. Watch those videos if you haven't already. And you merge the force and form together, that's the thought, and the emotion together to bring the thought to life. And now the unconscious mind sees it. The observer sees that which you want to manifest, and you have the desire for it, and you've intended it, right? And we want it to pass in this manner to the collective unconscious mind, right? And now there are many other factors which we'll get into, so we will be using this model a lot later, but I just wanted to introduce it to you so you have an understanding of it before we move on. And then the collective unconscious mind, which is the source of all energy, right? So this essentially is the intelligence behind anything. If you plant a seed into soil, there's an intelligence within that seed that tells the seed, in this soil, if it's fertile, if you put some water in it, if there's some sunlight, this seed will grow into a specific plant. There's an intelligence behind that. There's an intelligence within that seed. If it's a mango seed, there's an intelligence within that mango seed that tells that mango seed, when this is done, you will grow into a mango tree. Right? It doesn't grow into an apple tree. It doesn't grow into a pear tree. It grows into a mango tree. There's a reason behind that, because there's an intelligence within that seed. It has a mind, it has some form of mind. This is that intelligence. So, this intelligence has the ability to provide the energy to manifest anything. It has the ability for us to experience that which we wish to experience. So, by passing the memory into the collective unconscious mind, the energy is given to the unconscious mind, which therefore carries out that intention. And then the conscious mind experiences that, goes about life, and by logical means will experience that desire, that intention being manifest. So this is essentially the process that goes on in manifestation, using this model of the conscious mind, the unconscious mind, and the collective unconscious mind. So I hope that makes sense, and I shall see you very soon. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified of daily videos, and like and share this video. Thank you. Take care.